Good morning and happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Big T today. My name's Frank Vespi. I'm with the Racing Biz, theracingbiz.com, and also, of course, racing at Timonium. His name is Dave Rodman. He is our track announcer here at the Big T, as well as the voice of Laurel Park and the voice of the Preakness. Dave, we had a lot of fun last weekend.
Yeah, sure did. A few winners here and there.
By accident, of course.
Well, you know, I'm still in quest of that pick 5, which I'll try to throw out for you today, the late pick 5. I think I got a good one today. I think so.
This is the one.
Mackenzie's got a middle pick 4.
And I have an early pick 5.
Well,
so
between those three, we've got to have something.
Somebody's got to have it.
Yeah, right.
We had a stake last weekend. I think the racing office has performed a bit of a magic trick this weekend. They always say it's hard to fill races at Timonium. It's all dirt. Everybody else is running. So how about this? Put this in your pipe and smoke it. 9 races today, 10 tomorrow, 10 on Sunday. Doing a great job filling races here.
Right. I heard they actually had an abundance of horses, right, for Saturday's card, or Sunday's card, rather.
Oh, there's a race with 13 entered.
Right. So
we got AEs here.
Yeah. Well, closing day is Monday, but a 4-day weekend ahead of us. Lots of great, and the temperatures have cooled down after the rain last night, and kind of a warm-up in the middle of the week. Some rain's kind of moved out of the area now, and I have it that the track is fast outside here at Timonium. Despite all that rain, sealed it up, so fast track for today's card.
All right, let's dive in. It is Maryland Day at the races. Governor Westmore going to be in the house a little bit later, so that's something we're excited about. The Maryland Day at the races sprint is the feature end of the card. Let us start race 1, maiden 45s, going 6.5 furlongs, older fillies and mares. I'm going to come out swinging here. Early pick 5, 12% takeout here on the early pick 5 at the Big T. I go 3 deep in here, the 2, 7, and 8 first-time starter, Red Hot Hannah. A horse that's already won a race, but still a maiden. We'll talk about that in a minute. The 8-horse Designer and the 7-horse. I go 3 deep as well in both of the next 2 legs. Got the favorite covered next leg. Probably also in the one after that, although I actually really like a horse that's a little bit of a price there, the 1-horse Out Factored. 2 deep in the 4th, the 5 and the 6 there. Go Sherry Go, Sandra D. Go Sherry Go dropping out of Stakes Company, kind of an interesting spot here. And we're going to single in the 5th race on the 6-horse. That is Cajun Dream, a bit of a troubled trip last time out. I thought ran on really nicely, so we're going to single on that one to close the ticket. Going to be a $27 ticket, and hopefully you need your wheelbarrow at the end of it to get your money home. Dave, race 1.
Yep, the Ferris wheel is a-turning and the dog figs are burning. I think that's going to be.
Is that our new theme of the day?
Yeah, I'm going to get Creedence Clearwater Revival to do that one for us.
I like it.
Yeah, recording.
Creedence. Little John C. Fogerty.
Yeah, scratch 4. Mare Soleil in the opener, and a few figures to go on, but I went for a horse in the opener that hasn't run yet. She's a 3-year-old filly by Red Vine out of Rock Hard and Noble. Looking at the pedigree, Red Vine 3 for 22 with first-time starters. She's a half to a long turf horse named Ripken, right? He used to like to run long on the turf. However, the damn Rock Hard and Noble had a debut winner in Noble Belief. So I think on the dam side there, we could see a win early. And looking at the gaudy works at Delaware, with trainer Cal Lynch, Red Hat Hannah could get the job done first time out. Going to go side with her on top there. You've got the 7 in here. I picked second first to arrive. 8 race maiden.
Yes, and that's certainly a negative. But on the other hand, I thought that was a decent try last time out against 2-back, last time on the dirt, going 7/8 at Laurel. That is a race that has produced 2 next out winners and 6 horses. So 4 others finished second. 6 horses to finish in the exacta in their next start. I think that was a pretty good heat and certainly sets this one up to run well in this spot.
Yeah, she's a smallish filly, if I recall there, but they're keeping her in here for a high tag of $45,000. Claimed her for 20, so not giving up on her at all. Added the blinkers, last 2 starts, toss that race on the turf, and a race behind Mischief Motion. Looks good on paper. 5 is Diamond Sue, 10 race maiden, given a long hiatus, then came back to the races in midsummer, finishing 5th. but was a good second at 37-1 behind a no doubt about it winner Overwish last time out, and got the willing comment too from Keith and Bill up in Equibase. Always like to see that comment.
We do like the willing comment. The winner of that race, Overwish, a $675,000 auction purchase.
That's right.
Came back to run second in a Colonial Downs allowance.
You, sir, have done your research.
Somebody's got to.
And number
And
8,
that foot is
Designer. This is the horse you talked about. Broke a maiden, but was DQ'd. So, unfortunate to DQ, but has been off since last year as a 2-year-old for trainer Phil Capuano. Has been working bullets. It could improve with Lasix first time out substantially here and the time away from the races. We know she's got some talent. Crossed the wire first, but was disqualified and had a good amount of early speed and going pretty much gate to wire in that only run.
Yeah, that was not a good race. I mean, she ran okay. It was not a good group of horses. I think the 4 horses she beat now have a combined 1 win, so wasn't a great group there. But you like a horse that wins first time out of the box. Ought to be a little bigger and stronger now with a few more months, some training under her belt. Seems like one that can move forward. So
I haven't even mentioned the other Phil Capuano first-time starter by Bandbox. And this morning I almost changed the picks to kind of put her in there because it rained, right? Bandbox, they love the wet track. Big stats on Bandbox on the wet. The dam broke the maiden on the grass. X-Gene's dam, I'm talking about number 3. So we got some muddy breeding on the top, but the track is rated fast, and some turf breeding on the bottom.
I didn't even mention, and then we'll get to race 2. Of course you had to pick the 2. It's your former boss who owns it, Sal Sinatra.
I was going to mention that. Correct. Sal Sinatra's horse. Best of luck, Sal. Had a little bit of bad luck with Ripken, who kept getting into trouble and almost getting there on the turf. But this filly perhaps has a little more speed and dirtability.
All right, let's head to race 2 now. These are fillies and mares, 10,000 never win 2 claimers, going a half mile, 4 furlongs here at the Big T. And we both are landing on Miss Pearl Hart, speedy winner at Chuckburg last time out, going 4.5, Dave.
Ralph Comey shipping down from Charlestown. This horse has a good amount of early speed, and as with these 4 furlong races, if you're quick for that opening quarter mile, can clear or has speed by the time they hit the Ferris Allen wheel here at Timonium, by the time they get to the far turn, you could be gone. She certainly has some early speed in front last 3 races in the first call at Charlestown. Shipping down from Charlestown. He's only had 3 shippers here in the last 5 years I could find, but they were 18-1, 11-1, and 6-1. This filly's really got a chance here for Ralph Comey. So I'm going to use her on top, as did you.
Yeah, I did as well. As you said, that race has produced 2 next out winners. The runner-up from that race moved up to Maiden Special Weight Company to graduate next time out. So that looks to have been a pretty solid heat. And this one looks like speed, and that's what you need going 4 furlongs.
Divine Magic had speed on the dirt, has speed on the grass. Can it transfer to this half mile after beating 32, 42, 47? How many? 48 lengths in the last 3 starts.
That's a lot of lengths.
Yeah, it's a lot of lengths. But she's a one-dimensional kind of speed type. Pimlico did show it and actually closed a bit in that race, right? Was a length and a half behind at the second call there, and then stretch a length and a half behind, finished 3/4 of a length behind the aforementioned Designer, who was running in today's first race. 4, Molly of Stratford owes me a lot from last. I loved her last time out.
I'm sure she'll get right on that, Dave.
I almost picked her on top, honestly, because just because of that last race, I thought it was a little wide in the race, a much tougher group. Has some ability, I think, in this spot to perhaps sit from off the pace if she can show some early speed and stay within range by the time they hit the far turn. I think this is an easier spot for Molly of Stratford. Rudy Salomon ran there twice for 16, in for 10 today. So
the one concern with that horse,
very disappointed last out.
The one concern I have with that horse is just feels like she might be a little bit out-footed going a half mile.
Yeah, that's the point. She's certainly not as fast as the 5, I would think, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's been sort of 5th and 6th early on in a lot of these races. Not far off it, but 5th and 6th. Going this half mile, she's going to have to be ready to roll right when the gates open.
Maybe I'm overrating her, but another filly that has some early speed in the first call is Shared Authority. That's Joanne Schenkel. And you have that horse second.
And I'm sure I could find her. There she is.
Yeah, outside.
It showed good speed, 2 back last time on the dirt. Most recently, she showed speed again sprinting on the turf, so she's got plenty of early foot here. I don't know. Is she as fast as the 5? Is she as good as a couple of these? Probably not, but somebody's got to be underneath, don't they?
I think so. Third race, Scratch the 4 Blue Trillion. 6.5 furlongs, starting another pick 3. Do we agree? No.
We did not. We're not too far off, but Dave, you land on Frosty Maya, the 7 horse, dropping to the bottom here after showing speed last out.
Yeah, going 6.5, I think she's going to show speed. Last time out, she took a lot of pressure on the pace, was down inside there, fading off the scene. That race debut run was solid on a sloppy track. Track is considered fast, but today. So, and she was fractious in the post parade, that race at Laurel back in March when she broke a maiden at first asking. So, bottom line is, I know if you're playing the pick 5, you don't know ahead of time, but if you're playing her on track today, keep an eye on her in the paddock in the post parade to see if she's on her best behavior. If she is, I think she's a gate to wire threat in here in the third.
I landed, and you have this horse underneath on the 1 horse here, out factored. This one ran, I thought, really well last week here at the Big T, leading a long way, settling for third ultimately at odds of 9-1. Now cutting back to 6.5 furlongs, wheeling right back in a week. Trainer Jerry Brooks, 18% on 71 starts, so pretty good sample size, wheeling back in 1 to 7 days. Tori Alba stays up. I think this is a horse that has run now a couple of good races, has shown the speed to get to the front going short. I think this one should be a major player in this spot.
I'm sneak peeking on your, because I didn't have a buyer figure on the horse. It's a 40. Last time out. And the reason, of course, is a quick run back here. First horse to run back from last weekend. We have a few coming up, but this is the first one. I don't know, mile and a 16th. I thought that race was a jumble when we handicapped it. Didn't have Voodoo Priestess, I don't think, anywhere on the ticket. I didn't care for the race, honestly, but I'm going to use her in there, respecting the comeback, and a decent number 2 back on the synthetic end. You tell me now a 40 buyer last time out last week. 3, Catalina Cruisin'. They use this horse in here, making her first start at Timonium off a pair of seconds at Delaware Park. Kind of a filly, I think, can sit right off the speed of Frosty Maya.
No, I think that's exactly right. Has run, once they got her to the appropriate level, and she's this level of filly, 5,000, 6,250. She's run a pair of good races at Delaware Park. Now gets Julio Hernandez up, which I think is kind of an interesting switch in riders, and he's been riding well at Delaware, and he's 2 for 3 here at the Big T.
Larry Smith has Aunt Joe dropping in for the nickel. Does have some races at Churchill ages ago in 2023 that would project her, I think, on the lead and quite a threat to Frosty Maya in here. So she's kind of an all or nothing race if Aunt Joe can get her mojo back here.
Yeah, and I didn't use Aunt Joe. I landed on Razorette for Leo Ambrosi. Dirt tries okay. Turf try, not so much. Gets back on the main track here. Has not run in a couple of months. What do you think?
I think we ought to move on.
All right, let's move on then. Race 4 coming up here, mile and 16th, optional A other than, so a 16,000 optional claimer or first level allowance, and I think Mackenzie Pfeiffer has a pick 4 that we're going to look at right now with not 1 but 2 singles. This will cost you a hearty $3. Get that wallet out. She goes 3 deep in here, 4, 5, and 6. Angel of Canterbury, Go Sherry Go, Sandra D. She singles in the next race, which is a single I'm using as well, Cajun Dream. She's got 2 in the third leg, the 5 and the 6. That's Mendy's Honey for Farrier and Bandit's Warrior for Jerry Robb. And finally, race 7, because 1 single is not enough. She's got another one, Rock Rose.
May I borrow $1 from you? I have 2.
Do you have a $2 bill?
That's a $3 ticket, so you can't. You got it. I mean, with that kind of field, I mean, that's a good play, right?
I mean,
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like a $1 ticket here. All right, let's go here to this 4th race. I go 5, 6, 2, 4. You go 2, 5, 3, 4. Dave. Viennese Waltz, the X-Man, our leading rider, through 1 week, our leading rider last year. Going to have a tough time defending his title. He doesn't have a ton of mounts this weekend, and he's going to be up at the Spa on Monday in the Hopeful with Studley Do-Right.
Yeah,
so
I don't blame him for going up for that horse. Xavier with 5, JG Torrealba with 3 wins.
And Torrealba's got a whole bunch of mounts this weekend. However, Dave, you're hoping Viennese Waltz can dance to victory. Sorry,
I got you.
Couldn't resist.
Strauss's best bet. Angel of Canterbury is probably going to be the filly on the lead in here, right? I mean, no doubt about it in my mind that she's going to be on the lead. Can she go a mile and a 16th? I don't know. She won going the 1-turn mile at Laurel, but the 2 turns she found a bit of a struggle here. But if she sneaks away and they can get her to relax, yeah, she's dangerous in this spot. So I think the pace will be honest. And I went for a grinding type filly that they had high hopes for early in the game. They made some changes. Blinker is finally adding Lasix this year, and she's been pretty consistent this year with a win and a couple of thirds. Last time out, I thought it was just a good stamina effort because there was a short field, a 6-horse field. They were off the turf. It was one of those backed up and stacked up pace races where everybody was just kind of juggling along. And she'll have a better pace to run into today. Viennese Waltz.
She's going to need it. I mean, she is the sort that needs the speed to come back to her. And
I think she'll get it today. Especially with Go Sherry going there. Sandra D will have no option but to try to mix it up as well.
I think Go Sherry Go can sit off it. I thought that last effort, she's dropping out of the Miss Disco Stakes. And look, the winner of that race is Miss Harriet. Miss Harriet would be odds on in this spot. I thought that was a pretty good effort, kind of a grinding run. Sat off it, moved through inside, couldn't get to the winner, best of the rest. I think a repeat of that's good enough here, and I think she can sit off, your Angel of Canterbury and move when she needs to. That's how I landed there.
Honestly, the 2, Viennese Waltz doesn't have the best dog fig in the race, but not far behind.
Who does have the best dog fig in the race, Dave? Share.
You want to know. Pistol is ablazing, but that's in a previous life.
Okay. She was a pretty different animal a while back.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think the pace will be sharp. I hope Viennese Waltz can come closing. I like a grinding style here. Yeah.
Okay. That's race 4. On to race 5. Race 5, starter, allowance, optional claimer, 6.5 furlongs, 3-year-olds and up. And I believe Mr. Rodman has himself a pick 5.
Okay. Almost took a single in the last race. A horse we agree on, I think, the 7, but I see for 24. But let me throw another horse in here. So it's a reasonable play for a 5-race sequence. Deeper in the opener than 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. So 4, 6, 7 in the 5th. We'll talk about that race in a moment. Using the 1 and the 6 in the 6th race, the 2 and the 5 in the 7th race. Narrowing it down to a pair in the 8th race, the 2 and the 6. In the 9th race, if you're really on short funds, I like the 7 in there, but I use the 2 and the 7.
$24 ticket.
Between your pick 5, Mackenzie's pick 4, you should be able to afford that.
I mean, I'm thinking for less than $60, you could play all of our multi-race wagers, Dave.
Wow. And I mean, you're going to spend that at
the turkey leg stand.
Yeah.
Which geographic note, turkey leg stand next to the Ferris Allen wheel. That's how the geography works here at the Big T.
It's been moved this year.
Oh, no. I thought it was right next to it.
I think last year was farther back.
Okay.
Oh, whatever.
Whatever. All right, Dave, you land on the 4 here back in the woods.
Yeah, I'm using the angle here. Jose Corrales. Oh, wait a second. I skipped a race. I saw a Corrales. Corrales has one of them. I'm going like, where's my note? This is the third off of a layoff for Back in the Woods. A strong, positive ROI for Corrales, third after the layoff. Look at the company he's kept. 2 back, Bandcamp, 7 of 9 this year. Going back latter part of 2023 in this winter. Brother Conway, Whitty, Tenebris, twice. The Speedy Take Charge 2. The Judge and Jury 3 back when he was the real good Judge and Jury. Kind of tailed off lately. But I think Back in the Woods is a great play. This is a great angle for Corrales, a positive return on investment. Last time out, he ran an in-and-out race. He was widest in the race as his stablemate from the Corrales barn, Sugar Steve, did all the work in running second. So he's set up to run his best race today.
Yeah, that was an interesting race because he was actually, Back in the Woods was actually in the very early part of that race, part of the pace, before the first call, backed off it when it became like a 4-headed monster, kind of sat there, and then, as you said, came very wide. I thought he was willing, not a ton of impact late, but he was still trying, I thought.
Yeah, in and out, great. I mean, that's what I'd put down, and you're right. He was there. He wasn't there. It was a quick race, too, in 10 4/5 of a second, won by Meet Me at Mondays.
Yeah, no, that was a decent try. Out of the same race, by the way, in the 5th, we're going to take out the 5, B West, a scratch out of the 5th race.
That's a key scratch, and really, I didn't like him at all, even with him in the race, so I thought he would take some money, so you may not get the price you
value
here.
You'd like.
And especially on your horse, too, Cajun Dream.
Yeah, out of the same race as Back in the Woods comes Cajun Dream, who just missed, beat a neck in that race. This one was slowest of all from the gate, saved ground for a while, came too wide, and then kind of dived back down to the rail. Was trying all the way to the end, couldn't quite get there, beat a neck for all the money.
DJ owes me a little bit of money. I thought he would run really, really big race at Pimlico back when he was beaten as a favorite by Fun Love and Criminal. He's a big, sizable 7-year-old. He's a 7-time winner at 24 starts. You can't knock that. And had the track stayed the wet side, it moved him up a little bit. He's 3 for 6 on the off, but we don't have that situation at this time. And I don't believe we're going to get much rain later today. So, but he's capable of winning. He likes to win.
He gets a bit of a class test here. This is better than what he was facing, I would argue.
And really a nice-looking horse in the track, if I recall.
All right, let's head to race 6, unless there's anything else you want to. Oh, we're not heading to race 6. First, a word from our sponsor.
Toyota's national sales event. Swipe into end of summer fun with an exciting new Toyota. Whether you're paddleboarding in a RAV4, mountain biking in a Tacoma, or tubing with your best friends in a Camry, you'll find plenty to post about all summer long.
Right now, get a new Tacoma SR5 with low 4.99 APR financing. Or lease one for just $279 a month for 36 months.
Come in today. Ooh, like.
Toyota, let's go places.
And after my pick 5, Dave's pick 5, and Mackenzie's pick 4 all hit, you'll have enough money to go buy yourself a new Toyota. How about that? Race 6, other than for fillies and mares, going 4 furlongs. Got to get moving early in this one. You go to the 1 here, Dave, Lady Serenity. I go to the 3, Poji Bonsi. Why don't you tell us about Lady Serenity?
Yeah, they're both very fast horses. I'm a little bit concerned that Poji Bonsi's been off since December of last year and was scratched on July 13th from a $30,000, $40,000 top optional claimer and is in for 16 today. It's kind of a warning sign to me. So one of the horses who's had a lot of good recent races on the pace, contesting the pace on the turf and on the dirt, and that's Lady Serenity. If she could get the jump from post 1 and the opening 16th of a mile of the race, and I think they're just going to send her. I think that's the only game here, going a half mile. I think she has a wire-to-wire threat.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the only game here going a half mile. I think Pochi Bonsi has a ton of speed, has won doing this, won here last year going 4 furlongs. And I wasn't as troubled as you are about the drop here. This seemed like, to me, a logical enough spot to bring a 5-year-old mare back. You know, that we're going to see a horse, I think, tomorrow dropping from allowance to a nickel. This one's not doing that. This is kind of landing in a mid-price spot. It didn't trouble me as much, so that's kind of where I landed. We both used the 6 here a little bit. Bandits Warrior.
Yeah, if you're comparing dog figs, Pochi Bonsi 90, Lady Serenity 89. They're close. They're close.
Just a jumble. All right.
6, a Bandits Warrior will be on the chase. She's quick, but she's 6 furlong type quick. You know, maybe if they go crazy up front, she'll be in a...
Which could happen because you also have 5 Mendy's Honey.
Right, Tori Alba will come rolling in a prime spot there on the outside, and that could be the end of my pick 5 as we knew it. Or is it? Or is it? Did I use that horse? I forgot. I know I used the 1. Yeah, I used the 6. Okay.
Okay, so you got options.
Yeah.
All right, let's head to race 7 here. 5,000 starter allowance, fillies and mares, 6.5 furlongs, 2 turns here at the Big T. Rock Rose for Anthony Ferrier arrives off a win where her stablemate couldn't get out of the gate.
Yeah, I like Rock Rose. Off-track win at Charlestown. Beat Divine Fashion, who's scratched out of here. Sapphire Beauty as well, who's scratched out of here. I think she is the speed of the speed and is going to be very, very dangerous. Good ride. Justin Lewis nursing speed along this past weekend as well with a victory. This could be Anthony Ferrier, rocket to the winner's circle here, coming off of kind of a tough meet so far.
We got 3 scratches out of this one, Dave. Sapphire Beauty, the 1, the 6 and the 7 as well. Divine Fashion, Dulce Chiara. Divine Fashion was actually going to be my top selection in here. I ended up landing on Canoodle for, quite frankly, reasons that are no longer evident to me.
Yeah.
But obviously the 5 here is super live.
My only concern is the wild card, maybe a sultry Sally H, who is capable of trying to mix it up on the pace at some point.
Yes.
Canoodle, trained by Tim Keefe, is actually a Tim Keefe reclaim. He had this mare back in August of 2023. It was claimed away from her for $16,000, and he claimed her off of Jamie Ness last time out for a lesser price. So he does have kind of the whole card for Canoodle, and really I'm very fearful that Canoodle can come back to her old classy ways here, even though it's a 4-horse field.
All right,
Toledo was named to ride, but it's Carlos Lopez. Just
Canoodle.
an FYI. Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
that's
correct.
pretty strong, right?
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. All right, race 8. You're going to take out the 1 Flower Mound is a scratch, and we also have a video spotlight here for Dave's horse number 6, Stick with the Colors.
All right, this was almost freakish performance in my book by Stick with the Colors, who was second prior to, granted, a 7-length winner, but she ran nothing like this in that race July 19th. I hope she can retain her form here. She's always had a good amount of early speed, so I'm sticking with Stick with the Colors, and I'm sticking my guns that she is a wire-to-wire threat in this spot for trainer John Salzman and Jean Alvelo. Stick with the Colors. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And you're sticking to it. So do you think, I mean, the thing about that race is she popped out and was immediately clear, never threatened at any point in that race. Do you see that scenario developing again here today?
Well, I guess we'll find out when the gates open. I mean, I hope so. She did have a sharp start in the race. But looking at the race, I mean, Trainwreck has had, you know, some good first calls, second calls, but those are halves in 49 at Charlestown. Isabella's Glory, I know, doesn't have any early speed.
No.
Marley's Ghost, a mid-type running filly. Gee for the win. Off since June at Churchill off the claim. Hasn't had much early foot. I'm seeing her as the foot, the only foot.
Yeah.
The LLOL, the Lone Lick of Life.
Lone Lick of Life. All right, so you think Stick with the Colors goes to the front. I kind of ultimately decided I thought that there might be a little more pace pressure, that she wouldn't have it quite so easy this time around. And that pointed me towards Isabella's Glory. As Dave just said, no real early foot there, but will make a grinding run late. And I comes out of a pretty good try. Second to Ginger Girl and allowance at Laurel. Have been running okay. You know, her dirt tries are generally okay. Mystic Seaport, she saw Charming Way, so she's run into a couple of pretty good horses. Turf tries not so much, but we can put a line through them. I think a repeat of last, puts her in the exacta at the end.
Yeah, I mean, notice I'm using her in that pick 5. Second to Ginger Girl, 4-time winner this year. 6th in the Shine Again. Next time out, a little bit over her head, but very, very willing was Isabella's Glory to get up for the place behind Ginger Girl. I had a very willing. And the route to Sprint Corrales, a very strong stat as well. So I'm hoping the 6 gets the lead, takes them all away, but Isabella's Glory, the route to Sprint, off that last race behind Ginger Girl, using that horse in the pick 5 as well.
Corrales and jockey Darwin Rodriguez teamed up for a win last weekend. Try to do it again. And that gets us to the nightcap. Race 9, 25,000 beaten claimers, going 6.5 furlongs. And look at us. In a rare development, we both land on the same horse,
Yeah,
Dutch
I
Mills.
almost singled this colt in the late pick 5. I think he's a great play today. He's won 2 of his last 3, and sandwiched in the middle of those wins was a third-place finish behind Intrepid's Legacy, who's reeled off 4 consecutive wins this summer at Delaware Park, with the best
Who's a
buyer
rocket ship.
of 82.
Yeah,
Right.
That horse is fast. This one is also an angle that I love. The condition here is 3-year-olds or older horses that have never won 3. So the 3-year-olds can have won as many races as they want. This is a 4-time winner in Never Win 3 company. It's an angle that I have enjoyed over the years.
There's a lot of gun-and-go type speed in here. One-way traffic, Moncrief. Although Moncrief can come from off the pace, we've seen on paper. Dunphy as well. I think it's Trip City today for Dutch Mills.
Well, let's hope so, shall
right.
we? Because that will conclude your pick 5.
And that might be the only winner we have on top.
Or that.
Yeah, right. No,
All right.
the 7 and the 2, right, in the late pick 5. Moncrief. I did use that horse in the late pick 5 as well. Gelding has had a lot of early speed, but chased and rallied on the turf 2 back behind Claudie Boy. I thought, and beat one-way traffic in there, even despite a slow break from the gate. Those were turf races, but it's had some good early lick on the dirt. So I don't know what the tactic's going to be today.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how. I didn't use Moncrief. I'll be curious to see how he makes that transition back to the main track. As you know, sometimes horses don't make it so well, and other times they do it just fine. So
I didn't hear a word you said with all the noise in the background.
Just trust me.
That's
then.
okay.
It was totally accurate.
Okay.
There was nothing wrong.
All right.
All right, that's going to do it here for us.
No mistakes.
High five. That'll do it here for us today on the Big T today. 26 minutes to post. You'll be hearing from Dave shortly with scratches and changes. Mackenzie Pfeiffer going to join me in a little bit to start handicapping the card. We'll be back for each race. It is Maryland Day at the races here at Timonium. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.